Okay, let's dive into something that seems, almost too simple to be a game changer. The humble mini whiteboard. But we're going to see how this little piece of plastic and a pen can totally transform a classroom. How? By doing one thing incredibly well, making every student's thinking visible.
So, here's what we're going to cover. We'll look at why this tool is so powerful, the exact routines for both students and teachers, how to use it for different kinds of thinking, and of course, some pro tips to really nail the method. Let's get right into it.
You know, every teacher has been in this exact spot. You ask a question and maybe 2 or 3 of the same confident hands shoot up. But what about everyone else? Are they getting it? Are they totally lost? Are they even listening? That uncertainty, well, it's a huge barrier to teaching effectively.
And that leads to the fundamental question, doesn't it? How do you get a real-time snapshot of the entire class's understanding all at once? I mean, guessing based on a few volunteers just doesn't cut it. You need a way to see what's going on in everyone's head. And yeah, you guessed it, that's where the mini whiteboard comes in.
So why does this work so well? Well, it solves that problem of the silent majority in the classroom. First off, you get maximum participation. The expectation is that everyone writes something. Second, it's like an instant diagnostic tool. You can see common mistakes pop up all across the room in a second. And this last point is really insightful. It actually builds confidence. Students get this private space to try out an answer, to draft their thoughts. It creates a kind of psychological safety so they can take a risk without the fear of being wrong in front of everyone, before the big reveal.
Now, for this to work, it can't be messy or chaotic. It has to be a slick, automatic routine. So let's break down what it looks like from the student's point of view. The goal here is pure efficiency and focus, so you're not wasting a single second of learning time.
The student's job is actually super simple and clear. Step 1 is prepare. Boards out, pens ready, and all ears on the teacher. Step 2 is think. Use the time you're given to come up with an answer. And the key is to write it large and clear. Now, what if a student genuinely doesn't know? Simple. They write a question mark. No one gets to opt out. Then step 3 is show. On the teacher's count, 3, 2, 1, show me. Everyone holds their board up right below their chin and keeps it still. No sneaky early reveals, no hiding it.
Okay, so once the students have that routine down, this is where the real magic happens. For the teacher, this whole thing isn't just a fun activity, it's a genuine superpower. It's the ability to collect dozens of data points in just a few seconds and actually use them on the spot.
The teacher's routine is just as crisp. First, you pose a really well-chosen question with a time limit. This isn't random, you're checking for something specific. Next, you scan the room for patterns. Just sweep your eyes across all the boards and see what's jumping out at you. And third, and this is the most important part, you respond. You use that instant data to decide your very next move. Do you need to clarify something, reteach a concept, or are they ready to move on? You know right then and there.
But here's where this method gets even more sophisticated. It's not just for quick-fire single-word answers. Nope. You can adapt it for much deeper thinking, and the secret is all in how you frame the task for the students.
Just look at the contrast here. When you're going for quick recall, the pacing is fast. We're talking seconds. The prompt is direct. Think hard to remember. But when you want deeper thinking, like maybe planning an essay or solving a complex problem, the pacing slows way down. Now we're talking minutes. And the prompt changes completely. It's more like connect relevant thoughts. You're actually encouraging that exploratory, messy, initial thinking. This shows just how flexible this tool really is.
So we've covered the why and the how, and we've seen how you can adapt it. Now let's get into the nitty-gritty details that take this from a good idea to a great one. These are the practical tips that are going to make the whole system run like a well-oiled machine.
Okay, so when you're scanning all those boards, here's a tip. Don't get bogged down. Proactively look for the common wrong answers first. Then narrate what you see out loud. Okay, I'm seeing a lot of us thinking X. That's interesting because it makes your own thinking process transparent. And here's a fantastic killer tip. After you've discussed the answer, ask the students to erase their boards only if they got it right. Then have them hold up the boards again. Boom! You instantly have a visual map of who is still confused and what you need to address. And finally, let's talk about what can go wrong. First big mistake, not giving clear success criteria. If students don't know what a good answer looks like, you're just going to get a bunch of vague, messy responses. Second, letting kids show their boards early. That just encourages copying and totally defeats the purpose of seeing what they're thinking independently. And the last one is maybe the most critical, not insisting on 100% participation. The moment you let that slide, the whole system just loses its power.
When it's all said and done, this whole method is about so much more than just checking answers. It's about building a classroom culture, a culture where every single student is expected to think, and where the core message is this: be ever ready to share your thinking. It basically transforms learning from a passive spectator sport into an active, visible, and collective journey. And really, what could be more powerful than that?